Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The campaign is Our Ladies of Sorrow. It was written by Kevin Ross. Our game master is Alex Sun, and this is episode 13. Our recap will be given by me as my character, Rooster McManus. So without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. A phobia is defined as an irrational fear of something. So is it really correct to say that I have a remophobia, fear of the desert, when there's nothing irrational about it? Hell, I start to tighten up if I haven't had a glass of water lately. We survived, in a manner of speaking, and not without mental damage. Seems the kindest of the mothers caused us the most grief. She was a spider at the heart of a web that stretches across the world, luring in those who feel the pain of guilt. And what she offers is release, freedom from pain, but the form it takes is death, and she has countless victims. Those kids with Ellie Pickering were lured there because of the guilt she felt, and each of them was freed. But we did manage to rescue her and escape the mother's gift. We also managed to convince the outside world that there is something in that area of the desert that should be avoided. Not sure how effective that will be. It took me a while to recover. I wasn't about to hang out in Hicksville in the hospital, and I had to get back to Boston and reconnect with my life. One very bright thing, I met someone, a doctor no less. My Irish mother would be proud. Remy works at MassGen as a resident physician. No, he wasn't my doctor. Doctors can't date their own patients. But it is how we met. I was there to see my doctor on a follow-up, and I met Remy outside. We started chatting in the parking lot. He was on a break, and he was so damn cute in that little white coat. And then, I'm sorry. You don't need to hear all about this. Let me get back to the recap. I have to admit that Mother Suspiriorum did me a favor. I'm not a masochist. I don't thrive on pain and punishment. But my whole life, I had felt guilty about Sean, and I never thought that I could be freed from that. I don't know if it was real or an illusion, but it felt real, and it allowed me to work things out in my head. I miss Sean, and it was a tragedy that he didn't get to grow up. And it was my fault. That is a fact. But I was a stupid kid. I'd never experienced loss, death, and danger were alien to me when I was 12. She made me realize that it was time to move on. I love my brother, but he is long dead, and I need to move forward. Not sure what I can say about Brigham. Poor guy. We tried to warn him what he was getting himself involved with, but he really went off the deep end, and I'm not sure that there was anything that we could do to save him. So what's next? Mother Lacrimorum? Mother of Tears? All we have is a child's drawing of what looks like a flood. Who knows where this will all end? And is it all just some sort of amusement for Our Ladies of Sorrow? Are we their latest victim? Will they just laugh when we drowned and say, oh, well, that was fun. Let's go pick some other folks to torment? They need to stop interfering in our lives. Life is hard enough.
Thank you, Thom. It was powerful. It is now Sunday, October 4th, 2009. It is a month after the events of the Sighing Desert. Andy Argento, you receive a phone call.
Oh, all right.
It is paranormal author Richard Ahern. And give me a psychology check before we continue.
Oh, that's a success.
All right. You can tell he's angry and scared. And he says, it's either the best or the worst practical joke I've ever heard of.
What? Mr. Ahern, what seems to be the matter? What's going on?
I'm in Baleford, Illinois, with my assistant Everett. There's been a lot of sightings of La Llorona here lately. You know, the Mexican weeping woman ghost. I came here to check that out. But until tonight, I haven't seen anything but floodwaters. We're not too far off the Mississippi, and it's getting bad here. Anyway, tonight it's raining, everything but frogs and stones, and it's late. And I'm trying to get in my car, and I turn around, and there she is, standing right behind me. Looked like something out of a goddamn Japanese horror movie. All wet, hair covering her face. Whoever you had filming got a good shot of me falling on my ass in the rain. And then, this woman, she says, have you seen my children? And I'm still on my ass in the rain, scared to the bone. No, she says. What about your children, Sam and Lizzie? Who's watching them? Why aren't you with them? And before I can answer, I get a look at her face, and it's not good. Not good at all. And she says, Andy Argento. You know him. And now I realize it's a joke. It's a goddamn joke. Yeah, I know the bastard, I said. You can tell him he got me good. Where is he? Are you filming this for him? And then she reaches down and picks me up off the fucking ground. And she says, tell Andy Argento you saw me. Tell him I want to see him. And then she just turns and walks away. I yelled at her, and I told her that she could tell you herself, but she just walked out of sight in the rain.
Mr. Ahern, I'm not the type to make these horrible practical jokes. But I can tell that you're scared and frightened. Let me see, since this woman you spoke of, maybe I do need to talk to her so she does not pester you. How about that?
Oh God, shit! She asked about my kids. She asked about your kids too, and then the line goes dead.
Mr. Ahern? Hello?
Piercy hung up.
Shit. And that's when, like, what time is it right now? Is it like late at night? Or
It's the evening.
Evening? In that case, that's when Andy does group text everyone about Mr. Ahern contacted me saying that I am playing a practical joke on him. Mentioned La Llorona, saying this, he's in Illinois, stuff that you basically paraphrasing what he has said. And put down that Mr. Ahern sounds really scared and terrified.
So I'll respond, and she says he's in Illinois, and he's so he thinks he was. Why would he think that you would be pulling one over on him?
I don't know.
I mean, you don't. I mean, I don't know, but I feel like that's not the sort of relationship that anybody. We're not that buddy with him, you know.
What concerns me is that he mentions this woman, the weeping woman. I've heard of her somewhere.
It's well, what's interesting is that La Llorona is typically a southwestern myth. So it's a little outside of its typical range, I think. But again, I mean, I don't know what this guy's up to.
I know it might be too late of notice, but we might. I mean, I'm gonna see how I'm gonna get over there to Illinois, but I don't know how all of you feel about doing this.
I mean,
You're muted.
How are we communicating? Are we on
Text.
the phone together?
Or
Text.
a group phone
Text.
call. Whatever works.
Group phone call would be better, I think.
Yeah, because we can't see each other's responses in text.
Yeah.
Yeah. La Llorona is Mexico, right?
Yeah.
As I
Yes.
recall, the some woman who lost her children or drowned her children.
Parents
Now
usually
she
just
abducts children and drowns them.
I mean, he said the woman specifically mentioned Andy's girls. That feels almost like a threat if that's the
Well,
case, right?
it's also why he thinks that he's behind it. When
Right.
he thinks it's a joke. We, of course, can guess why this entity might know us.
True.
The weeping woman, mother of tears, maybe. Lacrimorum.
He said it was. Did he say it was raining?
Yeah.
Yeah, he mentioned that it's raining, lots of floodwaters. He's trying to get into his car. If
Did he
anything,
I mean, there was that picture, right? The kid drew.
Yeah. Did he say where in Illinois?
keeper.
Chicago.
Did
Yeah, he
say?
said Baleford, Illinois.
Baleford.
It is
Thank you.
south of Chicago.
No, it's not much south of Chicago in Illinois, but I guess obviously we can fly into Chicago without any trouble at all.
I'd be interested to know what brought him there. He said there were reports of La Llorona. I'd be interested to know what the reports were.
He's a psychical investigator.
Right, but I mean, if it's you know, the other sister, the woman, you know, I'd just be interested to know what like the sightings were, I guess.
Well, we can get online and see if there's like weird news reports or something from the area about kids going missing and being drowned.
Yeah, that would be a bad idea.
Okay,
Do it right
a
now.
quick Google search reveals to you that there has been, due to the water washing away the riverbanks, that's revealed 3 bodies that are currently unidentified. And there are increasing reports of people seeing this ghost, La Llorona.
Oh yeah. One more thing. He has an assistant, Everett Townsend. I don't think I got his number or anything.
Yeah, you have Richard Ahern's number as well if you want to call him back.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'll be right back. I'm gonna call him back to see if I can get his number of his assistant.
Well, guys, here we are again. Are we going to go?
So we're thinking that this is round 3.
She called us specifically by name. That's, you know, concerning.
Yeah, I don't personally know of anybody that I'm familiar with in Illinois. I don't think
That's a beautiful city if you go to Chicago, but we could base ourselves there. But are we responsible because of what we've already been through? We have to get involved again.
It's more like I feel like if we don't go, eventually she's going to find us, right? Like she's calling for us to come to her. It's almost this like, let's settle this. I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't feel right if somebody else ends up on the receiving end of this.
No, I guess you could rationalize that more people will die if we don't go than if we do go.
I mean, if somebody's being threatened because the thing really wants us, I don't.
If it wants us, why can't it just come here?
But do we want it to go that far? They've taken from us. They've threatened our loved ones. Nathaniel almost lost his daughter. We lost Milton. We want to keep I don't know.
We've seen a drawing of a terrible flood. And if you recall, there's cars under the water in the flood. So maybe hundreds of people will die unless we can figure out how to prevent that from happening. I've been watching the news ever since we got back. Flood raises a big red flag for me.
Right. And since you've been watching the news, Rooster, you'll also know that your efforts to keep people away from the Desert of Sighs is successful.
For now. There's always going to be those curious people that defy the law and go and do stupid stuff.
Mhm.
I've been looking in a lot into the occult since the last thing. And I have run across this La Llorona story. But it is, I think it's I didn't pay much attention to it, but I suppose she murders children.
I'm gonna see if I can call Richard Ahern back.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm
So-
gonna do that,
Or Everett.
or
Can't
Everett,
get a
yeah,
hold of.
to get his number.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
So you call Ahern's cell, and he finally answers. Oh, sorry about that. She asked about my kids, man. La Llorona. She kills kids, right? I had to call home.
No,
They're
it's
okay.
understandable, and that's good. I have my own kids too, and I understand. You mentioned your assistant, Everett Townsend. Is he
Yes,
with you?
he's in town with me doing research about La Llorona. I'm going to be here for the next couple of days.
Is he with you, or are you two separated at the moment?
No, he's currently in his hotel room.
Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna do our best to get there as soon as we can. Is it possible?
So it wasn't you.
No,
You weren't playing a practical joke.
no. I'll never play such a joke like this.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
If you are coming in like tomorrow, maybe we can meet up for lunch. We can exchange some notes, but make sure to bring waiters, and umbrellas aren't going to cut it because the winds are just going to blow them away.
Okay,
These rains are something fierce.
all right. And please send me the number to your assistant, Everett.
Oh, you'll meet him.
Oh, all right.
How far is he from Chicago?
So Baleford is about a 4-hour drive from Chicago.
Ways out.
I don't know that we can get there and drive 4 hours and be there for lunch tomorrow.
Yeah,
I did.
What, a couple hour
We don't
flight?
even know if there's flights available.
There are. I would say it's a 2-hour drive. Sorry, I guess. Watch out for the speed trap in Dickeyville.
Mm.
It's always in Dickeyville.
Well, and he just says, "All right, we'll see you soon." And then he joins the group phone call. Oh, yeah, he's scared. I told him it's not a practical joke. You saw if there's any flights available?
Yeah, there's flights.
Okay. I guess I'll start packing and let's go.
Okay, are you going to do any research in the night, or are you going to bring any supplies? What's happening? What's
I'll,
everybody
I'll,
doing?
I'll dive into the La Llorona stuff.
Okay, then you would find this information. No roll required.
Ooh.
Oh, La Llorona, the weeping woman, is a ghostly female figure from Mexican folklore. She appears as a distraught woman searching for her child. whom legend states that she either murdered or lost through her negligence. Variations of her tale state that she neglected her child or children in order to romance a married man who eventually abandoned her. Her child then either accidentally drowns in a nearby body of water or is drowned by her or is otherwise murdered by her in her belief that the child took away her love. This deed caused her to walk the night, searching in vain for her lost offspring. La Llorona is usually encountered roaming lonely places, especially river banks at night. She sometimes lures lone travelers to such places where she murders them, apparently as surrogates for the man who jilted her. The weeping woman wailing cry, the weeping woman's wailing cries can sometimes be heard in the place she haunts. Some stories say that she wears her hair long to cover her face, which may be bat or horse-like. Oh, I see. To cover her long face, which may be bat or horse-like, or totally featureless. See the faceless woman. The legend of the crying woman appears to have originated in Mexico, but curiously seems to appear where communities develop across the United States, especially in areas with considerable blue-collar industrial jobs. La Llorona seems to spread her influence along with them. Like the similar tales of the faceless woman, stories of La Llorona have become widespread urban legends and may have links to the popular vanishing hitchhiker tales. Well, I assume that it spreads where the migrant workers might spread and go across the United States. Doesn't seem that unusual, but
Yeah, anywhere there's a cultural diaspora.
yeah. Maybe there's a large Hispanic population in Illinois, and that's where it's coming from.
Could be. Could be.
Or it's Mother Lacrimorum fucking around with us again.
I am a little, I guess, curious and concerned that Mr. Ahern seems to have been visited by something that knew us. That's enough to get me out there, at least to see if we can at least put this to bed.
Yeah, she named Andy, and she named Andy's children, which is also very concerning if you're dealing with a spirit who targets children.
Yeah, and yeah, that's very concerning. And he did say that umbrellas don't cut it. We have to get something else. So we need to do some shopping too.
Yeah. Well, we're all wherever we are, so I suppose we'll have to meet up in Chicago.
We can get some supplies there before we drive out. Or it's best to get them here before we fly.
I think we can probably buy what we need there, and honestly, whether we buy them in Chicago or somewhere down closer to Baleford, I mean, they've got sporting goods stores there all over the place, especially.
He said that it's storming, though. I don't want to get off the airplane and have to walk around shopping without having stuff to
Also,
do whatever you
waiters
want.
might be hard to come by if it's flooding. You know, people might already be buying out some of the stores.
I'm cool. Well, where do we meet?
Well, I guess we'll just gather what we need from from our respective homes here, and we'll just meet maybe a couple hours before our flight so we can tie in together. And
I'll find the hotel I'm going to stay at for the night when I get there, and
Okay.
it's
So there's some hotels available in Baleford. There's the Eagle Resort. It's a pretty big resort. And then there's some... Sorry, it's called the Seven Hawks Resort. And then there's a smaller motel.
I can afford to stay at the Seven Hawks.
Okay.
I'll be at the Seven Hawks in Baleford. Not sure exactly when I'll arrive. I still got to make arrangements, but I'll be there sometime in the morning.
Okay. Is anyone
Right.
else doing research or setting up places to stay while in Belfort?
I'd probably just be looking into what's going on as far as the weather, the flooding, the reports.
And the news?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Then I'll take a library use roll.
That is a success.
Right. So, Belford is a small town on the Vista River, not far from the Mississippi. The population it has a population of 4,600 people. And the split of that, it's primarily white, 70%. There's a sizable Hispanic community of about 20%, and the remainder is African American. The town economy is driven by tourism, shops, antique stores, and a large golf course and resort. All attract visitors, as well as a week-long blues festival in the fall. They also have a large meatpacking plant that opened in the 1980s. This industry helped attract a sizable Hispanic population.
Right. So I'm going to quickly go out and go shopping. Get stuff that I need, pack it in my bag, get to the airport, and fly out.
All right.
Rent a car and then go to Baleford.
Sounds good. You start to head over to JFK Airport.
I'll probably do the same.
All right.
I'm gonna do similar, and maybe in the time, if I have any time waiting for a flight or waiting to leave for the airport, look up, see if there are a lot of reports of La Llorona in Illinois. Just kind of curious if that's sort of a singular thing that Mr. Ahern was.
So you're looking up La Llorona and Belfort?
Illinois in general, or see if I can see like a regional or like geographic representation of like frequency of reports of this.
Okay. In that case, you can give me a library useful.
Yeah. Yep. That'd be a hard.
Okay. You find a book, a quote from Mississippi River Ghosts. It's a 1999 book of true ghost stories by Midwestern ghost hunter Stan Saylor. And here it is.
Passage from Mississippi River Ghosts. Curiously enough, the legendary Mexican crying woman ghost, La Llorona, normally found throughout the American Southwest, has also found a home along the Big River. Baleford, Illinois, located on the Vista River just a few miles from the Mississippi, has long been the haunting grounds for the murderous spirit who preys upon children and unwary travelers. Baleford has suffered a number of unresolved child murders and disappearances going back nearly half a century. But it's only within the past 15 years that the crying woman has actually been seen walking the streets of this sleepy little town. Since then, several people have mysteriously drowned in the nearby Vista River. Often after the wandering white-clad wraith has been sighted somewhere in town or along the river. The local Hispanic population believes whenever La Llorona wails or is seen, someone will soon die. Interesting. Do we know the sisters, the ladies? Are they typically tied to one spot geographically? I mean, would there be any reason why one of them, say this is one of the sisters? Is there any reason why she might be pinned down to one spot?
In my research, they basically haunt everyone in the world. However, sometimes they have a place like almost like a secret hideout. Um, that if you discover that, you're in deep shit. But
So we're
yeah,
getting.
I kind of always suspected that maybe the hotel, I mean the apartment building with the three sisters on the front was one of those locations. But I don't know. I mean, I guess Mother Suspiriorum had that desert. Um, Lacrymorum might have a penthouse in Chicago, but they still affect people worldwide.
Okay.
So it's not like she can't come here. But
I've got a question, just so I can sort of get, I guess, a geographic or cultural feel. When we're talking south of Chicago by the Mississippi, are we talking way down by like Missouri, like near like uh, down by like St. Louis, or a little?
Like the location of Belfort?
Yeah, yeah.
It's closer to the Iowa border.
Okay, all right. Just trying to get a feel for what culture we're going into. Is it Midwest, or are we getting down towards the Missouri part?
And oh,
long silence.
yeah.
Um,
Well, I'm just, if anything, I'll do some shopping too, similar to everyone. But I'm just wondering if I have time to do some history behind Belford, like how it settled, um, how it propped up. If there's anything else on Belford we have not found out yet.
Uh, you mostly find the same stuff
All right.
about Belfort. There's no like scandalous
No.
events that happen besides the child murders.
Okay. There's no ancient Indian burial ground either. So that's
There's a lot of child murders. A lot of people have who have gone missing. It's actually a lot to parse over, and you wouldn't really have time to look it all over without missing your flight.
yeah, that's understandable. But yeah, and Tonio is ready, making sure that his kids are safe, and we'll kiss his fiance goodbye, and we'll go off to Illinois.
All right, your kids give you a hug. Bye.
Bye. Pop will be back soon. And he just gives him a hug before he heads out.
Okay, sweet. So, by luck, you're all on the same flight in the morning. So, because you're all coming from Boston area, you have to go to JFK. And your flight to Chicago is uneventful. Are you going to take the same car now that you're all in the same area, or are you going to rent different cars?
we can rent one car for everybody.
Okay, yeah, there you go. So as you drive down southward towards Iowa, towards Belford, you can see the devastation of the recent heavy rains that have plagued the state. There's water that stands in the fields everywhere, and in some cases, weeds in the ditches are black from the muddied waters rising and subsiding. At some point on your ride, you do have to take a detour as well because the bridge up ahead is partially covered by water. It becomes hilly and wooded near the Mississippi River, and your road becomes increasingly twisty and windy. The pitter-patter of rain starts to come down from these gray clouds. It's not quite torrential, but rain is starting once more. You can see the surging black waters of the Vista River as you head over to Highway 84. And a few miles downward, you can see the Henry Meatpacking Plant. Heading over the bridge, the Vista River Bridge, you can see Baleford, a small, sprawling Midwestern town with a lot of shade trees and small houses along its rain-choked streets. There is a business district where you drive by a public library, a post office, as well as other amenities that you would find in a town. And then you see the resort. The resort is a good 1/3 of the town. It's large. They own a lot of land, and I'll take a spot hidden roll at this time.
Success.
That is a hard.
Same here, hard.
Okay. Yeah, so as you are driving in the light rain along the edges of town, you spot an older woman. She is behaving strangely at the side of the road. She's walking on the curve next to a rain-swollen gutter, staring down into the running water. Her face can't be seen. Her head is tilted down. Her stringy, wet hair obscures her features. She is dressed in pale blue pants and a thin jacket over a lightweight sweater. She seems oblivious to the falling rain. And she walks slow.
But we're heading towards the resort.
Yes.
So we see her as we drive by.
Mm-hmm.
Is she walking the opposite way or towards the same direction we're going?
She's walking towards the same direction.
Okay.
Come on, guys. Every lady's on the street looking at the gutter ain't going to be supernatural.
It's just this lady's out walking in the middle of a storm at night. I mean, should we see if she's all right?
Well, sure. There's no room in the car, though. We got 5 people in this car.
Yeah,
We
but
can offer-
we could offer a phone or
5.
something.
You mean 4?
What did I say? 5? 4?
Yeah.
5. 5
We
people.
can at least see if she needs a ride somewhere and call her. If there's a cab service nearby. I don't know how far out of town we are.
Well, what if it's La Llorona?
We found what we came here for.
You yourself said not every woman wandering in the room is going to be what we're looking for.
And she's going to the same direction. Like, if anything, maybe...
Is Everett here with us?
No.
Oh,
No.
you have to
Oh,
meet
okay.
Everett.
We said
We haven't
4
met
or
him.
5. I was still trying to get the
It's 4.
correct.
Okay, 4.
Okay.
All right.
And if anything, if she tries to do something crazy, it's 4 of us and 1 of her.
Right. We should
So-
have gotten a description of what this woman looked like from the what's
Well-
his name?
I mean, I did tell you what he described.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you did. She was wearing white clothes, stringy black hair.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
Yeah,
Let's-
out from a
let's-
Japanese horror movie.
Let's pull over and just ask her if she needs help.
Okay. Up close, as you roll the window down to look at this woman, she is in her early 60s. And I'll give you a psychology roll.
All of us, or
Yeah, whoever wants to.
33 is a hard. No, it's
That'll
not.
be a fail.
It's a.
I got an extreme. On
yeah, don't
that.
forget to check off your skill. Oh, yes. It is.
Yeah.
Correct.
Thanks.
Yeah, so June, you've worked with a lot of children in your time. This woman looks like special needs, and she looks up at you. Doesn't say anything. She seems a little shy.
You need help?
She nods no.
Do you,
Does she-
you need a
so-
ride?
No, I'm going to walk home and take my medicine and watch Oprah on my television.
Okay, well, just be safe. Walk on the sidewalks. You don't want to get hit.
Okay.
All right, I'll drive on.
Great.
did what we could.
I was thinking of maybe calling the local police that there is this woman out here.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Tell them the street is Maple and Washington.
Um, and he's just gonna take out his phone, call 911.
All right.
It's not an emergency.
I'm saying,
Call the
or
non-emergency line. It's fine.
well, which one? Well, the local police department just mentioned the streets where there is a old woman appeared to be special needs help.
Yeah, wellness check.
Yeah. All right. They say, thanks for checking in. We'll handle the situation. And eventually, you get to the Seven Hawks Resort. It is a sprawling complex with golf and other. It's got tennis courts. Of course, you're not going to be playing golf or tennis.
No.
Actually, maybe you are. I don't judge because it is pouring.
Just as long as they have one of those awnings so that we stop the car there and don't get rained on and get inside. Have the concierge, have the guy park our car for us.
Right. So this place has restaurants, a swimming pool, gift shops, a gym. It's pretty decadent. And when you walk inside, the hotel staff takes your luggage and brings it to your room. And let's say that Richard Ahern and Everett are in the lobby.
Mr. Ahern.
Oh, we were just going out for a snack. This is Everett. Everett, what do you look like?
Everett is a young man in his late 20s. He's dressed pretty much all buttoned up with in rain gear at the minute. But just kind of looks hippie-ish in a lot of ways. Fairly long beard, long hair.
Yes. This is my assistant, Everett. He's a good one.
You must be the people from Boston.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, he talked about us, huh?
Of
Yes,
course.
well,
If you pull a prank like that.
Mr. Ahern, I assure you that I would never pull a prank on you like this.
Also didn't spend $800 to get a flight out here because of a prank.
But you're out here nevertheless.
Yes, because we suspected something far worse than you do.
And like you, Mr. Ahern, this entity, whatever this woman also mentioned me and also my kids. I'm very concerned as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so you would all fashion yourselves as believers.
Well, yeah.
In certain things.
Well, I think that goes for everybody. Everybody believes in something.
When something happens to you, you tend to believe in it.
Well,
you said something about getting something to eat. I'm famished. Let's get something.
right. I'll let you unpack and settle in, and we'll wait here in the lobby for you.
I'll just put my.
All right. So who's getting rooms with who? Just so I can understand, because Everett is with Ahern.
Get my own room.
Nathaniel can be in my room.
Yeah,
I don't know. We could fit 3 in one room if you wanted to. This place is a little expensive, but it's not that bad. We can all get our own rooms.
Our own rooms? That's fine. Make sure it's like next to each other.
Yeah, you can choose
rooms.
to have a connecting room should you wish.
Oh, that would be fine.
Yeah.
Play it safe and stay fairly close this time because we've been a few times about being apart.
On the 3rd floor.
Yeah, on the 3rd floor is fine. Ahern and Everett are on the 3rd floor.
Excellent.
Great. So there is an excellent diner I found.
Oh, you want to go out? Okay. Is it far?
Oh, it's only a 5-minute drive.
I mean, distance is always relative. I mean, when God is backing out on his promise not to flood the world again, I mean, it's everywhere's pretty far.
Well, God looks like it's about to flood the world, Everett.
So much
That's
for
for sure.
rainbows.
And you can see that Ahern, he has a notepad. He's compiled a lot of notes, and it looks like he's eager to show it off.
Well, Everett, you know that the rainbows come after he murders the whole world.
Well, right, but they're a sign that he's not going to do it again.
Why don't we have this discussion over dinner? I'm starving.
Yes, yes. Let's get something to eat.
All right, so you go to a small American diner. Let's call it Danny's, not related Denny's. And you all get a round table and order yourself a nice meal.
Some coffee wouldn't hurt.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Well, we'd love to hear all the research you have, Mr. Ahern.
Yes, Ahern and Everett. What do you all have?
Oh, sure, I've got some notes. Everett, do you mind? And then he gives you the notebook.
Oh, yes, of course. So, in a bit of a timeline here, in 1948, Jennifer Nolan, who was 9 years old, was strangled to death by Bernard Miller, who was quickly caught and eventually executed. In Joliet Prison, in 1960, Billy Wilson, 13, is found stabbed to death in Belford. 1968, Margaret Findlay, a black teen aged 15, is found raped and strangled in Belford. Nathan Kirk is strongly suspected, but soon moves to Louisiana, where in 1970 he is apprehended for a similar crime. He hangs himself in a cell while awaiting trial. See, in 1970, Jeff Williams and Mike Daniels, both 13, disappear one night. Families say the duo were going to investigate a haunted abandoned house on the edge of Belford. The house is searched, but nothing is found. The house is torn down within the year. 1976, in September, Belford holds the first of what would become its annual Blues Weeks festival. And also in 1976, during the Blues Fest, Maria Michelson, 34, and her daughter Isabel and Chloe, ages 9 and 11, respectively, disappear from Belford. Rumors of domestic abuse surround her husband. The case is still unsolved. 1981, Mark Whitaker, 4, disappears. 1983, the Henry Meatpacking Plant opens at Belford. Within a few months, Hispanic and Black workers moved into the area to work at the plant. 1999, Sean Keith, 10, is found strangled in Belford. 2000, David Fry, 16, is found strangled beneath the Vista Bridge. 2003, the chopped up body of Mark Whitaker is found in a suitcase after the estate auction of Ruth Ellis. 2005, Diego Padres, 17, disappears from his parents' home in Belford. 2007, Albert Pena, 51, is found in a dumpster behind a local roadhouse, dead of an apparent heart attack. 2008, George Rodriguez, 11, disappears in Belford. 2008, Alex Rowland, 8, vanishes a few months later. 2009, Vincent Lariva, 20, disappears one night while partying on the Vista River. And in 2009, Oscar Rios, 15, drowns in the Vista River while hiking with friends.
And just recently, 3 bodies have washed up on the riverbanks.
Well, that's interesting, but is it statistically unusual? It sounds like you're talking about 1 or 2 people a year. I mean, in a population of 4,000, people go missing, I imagine. People die, people drown, people rape one another.
Right.
Well, yeah, but like relative to this population size,
Feels like
it's
a lot.
Yeah, this says population of 4,600 people, Mr. McManus.
Right.
And
but
I've
like I
compared
see,
these
you're only
statistics.
talking a couple a year.
Now, I mean, Mr. McManus, as you said yourself, when things happen to you, you tend to believe whether it's statistically significant or not.
No, I didn't say that at all. The things that I have seen, they don't
it
have
was
anything
Mr.
to do with
Pickering who said that.
statistics.
My apologies.
I'm inclined to believe that 99.9% of everything that we research is just nonsense. Perhaps it's a phenomena of culture making up stuff. The Hispanic population growing here would bring a lot of its mythology with it. But half of your statistics there come from before the meatpacking plant, which is what attracted all of the Hispanic people. So I don't know. I
So,
was
Rooster,
unaware. Yeah, go ahead.
as you're eating your food, what are you having tonight?
Oh, what time is it?
It's the evening.
I decided that I would like the meatloaf and the small red potatoes with. God, that sounds good. No,
Yeah, it's very umami. The sauce is very rich, and you're shoveling it down, and then you feel something in your mouth. You feel and then you're pulling it, right, and there's a long, stringy piece of black hair.
This reminds me of an old movie, not an old one. The fuck?
Oh, what
Where'd
happened?
you get that, Rooster?
I look around to see if there's like a waitress with long black hair.
No.
It's fucking hair in my food.
Oh,
Damn.
Hey, that's a statistically irrelevant event. Happens all the time.
I'm waiting for the waiter.
All
or
right, you
waitress.
get the waitress. She's got a short blonde bob haircut. He says, yes.
This is in my food.
Oh, that's terrible. Let me take it back and get you a new one, okay?
Can you assure me there won't be black hair in that?
I mean, our chef is bald.
I'm not saying that he dropped hair in it, but there's hair in it. Where do you get your meat?
We get our meat from reputable sources like the meat packing plant to the north.
All right. I kind of lost my appetite, but whatever.
All right, she takes your dish away.
I'm just saying, Mr. Townsend, that we've been disappointed in almost everything that we've researched. It's the few things that kind of force us to consider that they're real. Otherwise, we end up going down a lot of empty trails. But we're here because we have reason to believe there has something to do, and it's because of the flood and the rain mostly. Have you ever heard of the three mothers? The mothers of sorrow, the ladies of sorrow?
I mean, you see, I'm a PhD student in comparative religions, and I'm currently working on my thesis in obscure American sects. And this is it's things that I've come across before, vaguely. Again, it's
I'm going to
very small
tell
body
him.
of work, if anything.
I'm going to tell Everett quite bluntly, unless people stop me or interrupt. Our experience at the apartment, and then our experience in the desert.
Ahern is watching intently, like he's taking it all in.
We contacted Mr. Ahern originally because we were quite confused about what was going on. But since then, we've grown a little.
Yes, my book, The Paramental Factor, surely did give you good leads.
Indispensable.
He gives you a grateful nod, Nathaniel.
Mr. Ahern, you did mention on our phone call that there were sightings?
Oh yes, this La Llorona woman has been spotted all across Baleford, and I've compiled a list of helpful contacts that I was going to visit And I've done some research on that. I'm happy to share those with you. There is a local newspaper reporter named Lorraine Sabet and a packing plant worker named Esteban Rodriguez, who can help us in our investigation. They know the town pretty well. Esteban Rodriguez they call him the Mexican mayor because he is a strong member of the community, a leader in the community. And Lawrence Sabet, she's a reporter who really is very thorough with her work. And she has access to the Baleford Tribune and the copies therein. As for the police, I'm iffy about the Vista County Sheriff, Bob Zerny. He's a bit of a racist. But one of his deputies, Scott Margiles, he's a little more neutral.
I see. And because on the phone call you said you've seen this woman yourself, where did you see her last? Was it here at the resort or somewhere else?
North of the river.
Describe the whole thing to us.
Right. So I was investigating the area where the bodies were found washed up. And that's going north over the Vista River Bridge on some muddy pathways. A lot of it's taped off with police tape, but I figure I'd give it a peek anyway. And the whole place is empty. I was with Everett, and then she was there. I don't know where she would have hidden because we were in the middle of a muddy road embankment, and she really scared the crap out of me, and she said your name, Andy, and then she threatened your kids and my kids.
Yes.
Go ahead, Andy. Sorry.
Oh, are the bodies identified or not yet?
No, I was hoping to ask Bob Zerny.
Do you even know what they are? Boy, girl, old, young?
No, there's just been reports that bodies have been identified.
So we'll have to talk to somebody about that.
Right.
When she threatened you, was there some call to action, like tell Andy Argento to get over here, or she was just threatening?
Well, I thought it was a practical joke, a prank that Andy somehow put up because that's insane. The way this ghost is interacting with us.
Now that we've explained what's happened to us, do you understand that we're almost waiting for Mater Lacrimorum to show up?
And yeah, you're really in the belly of the beast.
This La Llorona seems to be a really high candidate for the Mother of Tears.
Do you have any ways of defending yourself?
Well,
La Llorona is a very violent ghost.
There's almost no way to defend yourself against any of them. I think it was luck. Was it luck that got us out of the first one?
Basically.
It was not agreeing with her that got us out of the second one.
So the third one has to be different.
She might be mad that we fucked over her sisters.
It's true.
If you read that poem that we told you about, it kind of implies that there's nothing you can do. They won't listen to negotiation. They won't. There's no compassion or mercy in them. They are forces of nature.
Well, that's why I carry one of these. And he flashes you a revolver he has.
Remind me that this all started.
Oh, you brought your own handgun.
Please put the guns away. We're in a restaurant.
I also got a knife.
Put that steak knife down.
Is it? What year did all of this begin? Recorded,
2009?
rather. 2000. No. Like in the history that.
1948 is the oldest.
Was there some catalyst that you can see, Mr. Ahern, that some reason why it all started then?
Shakes his head. Well,
Does it
that's
seem
why
to-
we're here to figure it out.
Does it seem to suddenly escalate after the Hispanic population arrives with the meat packing plant?
Into 2000s, there was almost one every year, as opposed to every
Few years.
5-10 years.
And it's definitely escalating this year because we've already had 2, and 2 more bodies have been found.
3 more.
3 more, sorry. 3 more.
Mr.
More
A,
than any other year.
Yes.
how often? I mean, we were seeing lots of rain. How often does it rain over here? Or this is it seems to be an unnatural.
We're in Baleford. This is the rainiest city in America.
All right, well, that makes sense.
Really? That's interesting.
Yes.
But kind of like what you were talking about, Nathaniel, is the mother of tears choose the rainiest city to live in.
The rain comes down a little harder outside the restaurant window.
I mean, that's what I was kind of thinking, is that maybe they have, maybe not tethered. Tethered might not be the right word. But a
Preferred.
A local haunt, place where it feels most comfortable or tied to. I'm just kind of shooting in the dark here.
No, it makes sense. The mother of sighs was in the desert with the sighing wind. The mother of tears is here with the sky continually crying.
I mean, have we mapped out where all these deaths occurred? Was there any kind of pattern?
Yeah, have we mapped that out?
Not yet.
Well, we're all staying in the same resort, so we can set a place there as our headquarters and do research and see if we can find a correlation. And
I'd like everyone to give me a spot hidden roll at this time. You're going to need a hard or above, or better.
Spot hidden. I think I got it.
Nope, nothing.
Except that I'm on the wrong page. Hidden.
Just regular.
Oh, I will spend. You said a hard is okay,
Mm-hmm.
because I could spend my to get an extreme. But
Hard's
I got
fine.
a hard. I got a hard.
All right, so you're having this nice time with Richard Ahern and his assistant, Everett. You're enjoying dinner for the most part, besides the long hair. And you're looking outside at the downpour. The rain's coming down harder. And across the street, you can see the river. And you see a white-clad woman. Same black hair. And she's slowly wading into the waters, dropping out of sight. Give me a sanity roll for that. And you're the only one that notices this.
57. Where is my 70? Yeah, that's a pass.
All right, it's gonna be 1. It freaks you out a little.
Oh, there. Look,
Where?
I'm pointing.
What's wrong?
There's a person, white dress, black hair, going.
And as Rooster points, you can. Some of you might even see, like, those of you passed might see the top of this woman's head just go down into the brackish water, and it doesn't come back up.
I'm sorry, don't say anything.
Okay, maybe
I don't know.
I'm all hyped up from the talk, but I think I might have caught a glimpse.
I saw some sort of movement out there, but I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I thought I saw
I'm sorry,
something, too.
it's dumb for me to say that at this point because Mr. Richard and Everett are going to think that I'm just making this shit up. I swear to God.
Well, I mean, do you
spend all
wouldn't
this
you
money
wouldn't
to come
have
out here?
exactly? I mean, whether
Likewise.
it's out there or not, you certainly believe that she is. That's a powerful thing.
It's like when I saw the old woman. Remember that? That's what started this whole thing.
Well, if anything, we can go back to our hotel rooms, and there's something about, of course, the Vista Bridge, the Vista River. That could be two things we can do some research on, because those are two landmarks that those are two things that
Yeah.
stick out in the
I like
findings.
June's idea. See if we can figure out if there's some sort of location pattern.
And we could definitely do that at the hotel, I feel like.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can get a local, like a tourist map, and then, mark on there with a Sharpie or something.
And you mentioned Bob Zerny and his deputy. We can find out something more about the three bodies. How are we going to play this up here? Telling people, Mr. Ahern, telling people that we are psychic investigators, or that usually slams a lot of doors in our faces.
I think we need to win the hearts of the community. Show them that we're also hunting this La Llorona who has been terrorizing the town.
Well, I think that'll work with the Hispanics, but I'm not sure that it's going to work with the sheriff.
That's true.
I mean, you can, if it's children, you could always check the most recent Amber Alerts that have gone out.
Yeah.
See if any of them were resolved. Like
I'm an insurance investigator, so I have credentials. I can actually say that I'm investigating such and such.
You have access to NamUs, the database for missing people? I mean, that might...
I don't know, would I?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah. Missing people, name us.
It's your names. All right, so Mr. Ahern, he's going to graciously pay for dinner because he says, thanks for coming out and clarifying things. This might be a real ghost here.
It might be much. If it's a ghost, who cares? If it's something much worse, people are going to die.
I hope not. I hope we can do something to stop it.
man, if it was a ghost, that would be quite a blessing.
Yeah, what's our body count up to now?
That's the difficult thing about dealing with these entities, is that they do as they please. We pretty much have to endure it.
There's a lot of collateral damage.
I think there's a lot to be said there, Mr. Pickering, about a lot of systems of belief. As you guys have said it, I picked up. I mean, if you view these entities, as you've called them, as forces of nature, I mean, the personification of such things makes them easier to deal with in a psychological way. You can engage with them, or try to engage with them, placate them, resist them. And even if it is futile, it helps make the going easier, the enduring easier for many people.
Yeah, there are some things along the course of our interactions with the entities that at certain times felt like we had agency and the ability to make a decision, but in hindsight might have just been wishful thinking. That we could actually do something to alter the course of what was maybe going to happen anyways.
Well, I think there's something to be said about how much do we understand our motivations? As people, why do certain people gravitate towards certain places? I mean, you mentioned this desert and this seeming congregation of people with guilt. If you subscribe to something like the Jungian collective unconscious, perhaps there is some symbolic resonance or archetypal resonance with such places, or that
Or
draws
maybe
people.
it's just people commit suicide by walking out into the desert sometimes. The truth is that happens too.
Right, but I mean, if you think about the
But
apartment
there's a
building,
reason. But why deserts? Why do people are attracted to deserts to do that? Why fly from another state to walk out into a desert to kill yourself? There's a reason for that.
I mean, the first the apartment building, it was depression.
Yeah, but it's like so many people died there. I don't know. It's
Oh man, I'm glad to move out of that. It was awful. It was very awful what happened at the apartment building.
Well, my guess is that we have to watch ourselves carefully. Got to be sure of yourself, Mr. Townsend. You got to be sure of yourself in the face of whatever these things they're not going to attack you. They're not going to hack you up into pieces. They're going to try to convince you of something. You just got to be strong, or you're going to end up playing with cactus and
knowing what we know now, is there a way to see if there are any common threads between the events in the desert, the events at the apartment, and see if any of it connects to this too?
Those all together.
Get out the bulletin board and the red string.
What you've said, from gathering from your story, this narrative that you've been explaining to me, as you've already pointed out, each of these entities seems to focus on some different aspect of something. Depression, guilt.
Yeah, something sorrowful. They're Our Ladies of Sorrow. Something.
Some aspect of grief.
In this case, sadness, grief. Yes, grief.
Yeah, like they seem to tie themselves to legends too. The La Llorona and.
There's lots of legends about entities killing children. Child mortality is something that runs very deep in human consciousness, human existence, human history, human culture. You can look all the way back to the Canaan, ancient Canaanite religions, and look at figures like Lilith from Judaism, who kills children out of revenge for the loss of her own children. La Lorena, same thing. It's this kind of vengeance. Or a lot of people tell the story anyway.
That sounds very violent, says Mr. Ahern.
Greek mythology, Medea kills her children because Perseus cheats on her.
I just don't want to end up back in that city.
Saturn or Kronos eating their own children. Greek or Roman.
I'm wondering what time is it now in game since we're all done.
It's probably 9.
9. As much let's just maybe some rest will do us good. We're gonna go a lot of tangents this way.
One last thing, a little bit off of this topic. Mr. Ahern, did you ever have a meeting with Kurt Winters? Because he left us in was that Providence? Or was it Boston? It was Boston. He left us to go see you on a meeting and never came back.
So I talk to Kurt occasionally because he's also a fellow writer of the paranormal. He dabbles in cryptozoology, and he's dropped off. I haven't heard from him recently. I think the last message I messaged him asking about some research, and then he just stopped responding about 2 weeks ago.
Now, we were very concerned about him.
I worry about him.
Yeah, we do too. Sorry, that's all I wanted to ask.
Oh, that's no problem.
All right. Shall we go back?
Yeah. Let's. I think my room is next to yours. And just to be clear, everyone's in a separate room.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So, what's everyone's night looking like?
Do we want to try to make the connections tonight? I bet we're all very tired.
We're pretty
You
tired
are.
from the distance.
I think it can sit until tomorrow.
All right, great. So,
what's the resort? Is it the resort like a mall where it's all inside, or is it all separate buildings? Would we have to walk through the rain to get from one spot to the other?
you have to walk through the rain.
Okay. Is there like a pharmaceutical place,
Like a CVS? Convenience
something
store?
like that in the resort?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to go down and get some aspirin. I'll take a walk through the rain to
Okay.
keep from
Great.
getting wet.
Sounds good. So you walk down to the convenience store and you pick up your aspirin, like no trouble at all. It's at this point it's torrential. It's coming down hard.
Yeah.
The winds are blowing. You're almost knocked off your feet when you first open the door. You struggle opening it.
I can see that an umbrella would not work very well in this. So I just sort of, muster my way through it. But on the way back, I'm just going to stand there and look out into it for a while.
Into the water?
Into the rain and the
Okay.
if we can see the river from here.
No, you can. It gets a nice view of the river.
Be like, what are you up to, Mater? Lacrimorum.
Right. And you ask that to yourself. You can see in the distance, right across the river from the resort, some police tape. It's a miracle it hasn't blown away from the high winds, but that's probably where they found the bodies.
Okay.
And you have this moment to yourself, asking why us? I'm going to swap over to Nathaniel. You're in your room, you're unpacking, and do you have the TV on?
I'm probably listening to the radio.
Okay. So, you're listening to the radio, right? It cuts out.
Tap on it, maybe adjust.
The TV turns on.
What?
It's an old black and white film. And it looks like a black and white movie that depicts a vengeful looking woman. It looks like a femme fatale. She's holding a man at gunpoint. And she says, "I brought you here, Nathan. I tracked you down and lured you here. It was me, because I know it was you who killed my sister. And now you're going to die like the dog you are, Nathan. I'm going to make you suffer." The camera pans out because she has this guy at gunpoint, and she shoots him in the stomach. And the man falls down, groaning, and she stands above him, smiling cruelly.
What do you want? What do you want from me?
The woman glares at the camera, and the TV shuts off. Make me a sanity roll.
Success.
Okay. 0. Must be a coincidence.
Bullshit.
You turn on the TV again?
No.
Okay.
In fact, I'm gonna. If my friends are asleep, or I'm
They're
asleep.
not. They're in the process of getting.
Yeah, I put on my. What I'm imagining are complimentary slippers
Of course.
and robe, and put on a cup of coffee and go over to my friends' rooms and tell them what I just seen. And no, I've not been drinking.
You probably see me standing.
Hey, Rooster. Come here.
Dude, what?
No, come here. Make sure no one's like listening because I don't want to be.
You're gonna get wet out here.
Yeah, we kind of go under a nodding. Rooster. I was sitting in my room listening to the radio. It cuts out. I figure, okay, well, I don't know, something to do with the storm, or maybe the antenna fell over and whatever. I tried to adjust it, it wouldn't. And then the TV turned itself on. I was nowhere near the clicker, and this black and white film come up, and I think it was one of the sisters. She was there. There was a man sitting in a chair. She was in a room, this black and white movie, and she starts talking to me. She starts talking to me, saying she's blaming me because I killed her sister, and she's gonna come get me. And then she just shoots the guy in the gut. He falls on the floor, dies, and that's it. That's it. TV off.
But
She told me my name. Looked right out of the TV, right at me.
so we're on track. We're
No, we're in the right place, yeah, for sure. But she said that she lured me here. It's like a trap. So, I mean, in one sense, we're in the right place. I guess in her perspective, yeah.
come on, let's go back.
Yeah, we gotta talk about this.
So you're all in the same hallway on the third floor. So your buildings aren't separated. The residences, the rooms are all in one building. And you have rooms right next to each other. June, what are you doing?
Probably just reading a book in bed.
Okay.
I'll join the conversation.
Right. So Nathaniel and Rooster, they come in. Or they knock at least.
Bruce.
I just be careful. Milton, I believe, had a similar experience at least once, more than that possibly. Back in Boston. Just be careful.
Well, if we expect something to happen, then we can not be so freaked out about it.
Right. I don't know, that mood just seemed to have fallen over Milton so suddenly when he took his life.
Yeah.
She brought this one. It's been a while since I read that longer text, but I think this one is the vengeful of the three, and she
Right.
called us here. I guess stupidly we came, and she thinks that she's got us in a trap. She probably does.
I'm going to cut you there because we're going to pan over to Andy Argento. He's in the bathroom, brushing his teeth, and once again, you feel something. Well, not once again, but you feel something long and stringy. And you start pulling out just strands and strands of hair out of your mouth. Give me a sanity roll.
Oh, Jesus. Success.
Success. All right, that's 0.
Mm-hmm.
But then you look up at the mirror. And the woman is there. You can see her wet, dripping hair covering a rotted face. And you can hear a whisper. Where are your children? I can see them, you know. And I can do more than that. Give me a dodge roll.
A dodge roll? Oh boy, here we go. All right. Yeah, I failed that. This is gonna be
Okay,
fun.
so it suddenly occurs to you that you heard the whispering to your left, and when you turn around, she's actually there. She is grabbing you by the throat now and pushing you up against the bathroom wall with a thud.
Oh god.
You can hear all of this from the next room as there's a sudden thud. Why don't you take 3 damage from strangulation? Why don't you add this on a separate track?
Okay.
Let me know when this gets over to your HP, because that's really bad.
Okay, so all right.
All right, at this point, Everett Thompson, you're hearing a loud banging coming from Andy's room.
I'll get up,
Yeah.
set the book down that I was reading, and go over across the hall and knock.
The door is locked. You
Mr.
knock on the door.
Argento, is everything okay?
You can probably hear his head being slammed against the wall repeatedly.
Where are we?
You're in the separate room. You're in the other room.
So I'm going to start trying to get through this door, I guess.
Okay, give me a strength roll.
This is where it all falls apart.
Yes.
Yeah, no, 64, no.
All right, so you start smashing the door down. June, what are you doing?
We hear that. I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
we need to go see what that
Mr.
noise
Argento!
is. Oh shit, something's wrong with Andy. Let's go.
Right.
Yeah, we come running out.
Okay. So June rushes to the hallway. What's Nathaniel doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the noise because I know what's going on here.
Okay. And Rooster.
I'm gonna go also and try to open up the door.
Okay, give me a strength roll.
45 is a pass.
All right, with a pass, you start to smash down the door. Richard Ahern, he's peeking out from his room. Andy, what are you doing? You're being grabbed. You're being grabbed with two hands on your throat. She's lifting you off the ground, pressing you against the wall.
I'm gonna try
You're
to, I'm just try to kick her off somehow.
All right, give me a fighting brawl. She's gonna fight back.
Okay, sweet. All right, let's do this. No, fail.
Okay. In that case, as you try to kick out, she just smashes your head against the porcelain of the toilet seat.
All
and
right.
it shatters.
How many points?
And you take 3.
All right, yeah. It's not looking good already.
No, it's her turn again, and she's going to follow it up. She's going to dunk your head in the toilet. Are you going to fight back or dodge?
Dodge. Let's see, my dice are going to be good to me. That's a fail as well.
Okay, in that case, she's going to... so she smashed her head against the lid of the toilet seat, and she's going to make her way down, smashing you against the actual seat covering itself.
Mm-hmm.
And there's blood everywhere. There's shattered porcelain. There is a lot of just awfulness as she starts to submerge your head in the toilet water.
All right.
And she's vicious. You can feel her claws digging into your neck, into the back of your head. Take another 3.
Have we come in yet?
Okay.
You're about to.
Yeah, that's
The door's
open. Yeah, it's not looking good. I'm down.
No. You're at 0?
No, I'm not. No, I'm at 2 points.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
bad.
Everett, the door is open. The bathroom door is thankfully open. You're seeing this woman just smashing and beating the shit out of Antonio. What are you doing?
I am very clumsily just gonna try to pull this woman off of
All right, give me a fighting brawl.
Mr. Argento.
What's your build?
My build is 0.
Okay, no bonus die.
Yeah, 39 is not a pass on my base.
All right, but you do get her
25%.
attention. You put your hands on her cold shoulder. And at this point, everyone sees this woman, so give me a sand roll. From everyone.
Everyone, even me. Well, I'm
No, you're preoccupied.
Yeah,
Your adrenaline's pumping.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
42 is a pass.
Okay. Failure is a 1. I mean, sorry. Failure is a D4. Success is a 1. All right. Now it's June's turn. It looks like she's turned her attention to you, Everett. But June, what are you doing?
I'm rushing to Antonio, like, oh my god.
What are you doing?
Um,
There is a brawl happening in the bathroom right now. The woman is still there. She's dripping brackish water all over the tiled floors.
yeah, is she on Antonia? I'm sorry, I'd like stepped away for a second. Is she on Andy? Can I?
She's got her hands on him.
All right, well then I'm gonna try to like pull her off, I guess. Then.
Okay, give me a fighting roll.
All right. Oh, that's a 12.
Okay. She's going to try and fight back. You do get a bonus die at this point because she's outnumbered.
Okay.
But she's going to try and fight back.
So is that a dodge on my end then if she's fighting?
No,
back?
it's a fighting roll. She's just going to fight back. So you get this bonus die.
All right. Yeah, that's a success on my end. That's a hard success on my end.
Okay, then you do actually break the grasp on Andy's throat and head. You can see the purple and black bruises starting to form on his throat. Now, Nathaniel, it's your turn.
All right, yeah. I guess I'm just going to try to add to this fray and just grab onto the ghost.
Okay. Give me a fighting roll. And you get a bonus die because she's outnumbered.
No.
No, okay. In that case, she's going to turn to you, Nathaniel. She said, I'm going to kill you and your children. And then she just pushes you back. You smash against the towel bar, the metal towel bar, and it breaks, it clatters to the floor. There's a dent in the drywall, and you're going to take 3 damage.
Ow. Jesus, Murphy.
All right, Rooster.
All right. I am going to very strongly grapple her and try to wrestle her against the wall. And I yell out to everyone that I suspect that she is probably possessed someone. We have to be careful because that one person we attacked was in fact somebody else. So I'm just going to barrel into her and try to press her against.
What's your build?
My build is also 0.
Okay, then you get 1 bonus die because she's outnumbered.
And I'm going for strength or no, fighting brawl. Fighting brawl. There it is. I rolled 14 twice in a row.
Right. So you would tackle her into perhaps the shower, right? So you would with the force of her body, you tackle her with all your might. She goes flying into the shower curtains. The bar on top falls over. It's a mess. It's really a mess. Andy, you do get those hit points recovered from the strangulation. It is now your turn. There is a scuffle going on in the bathtub.
Wait, all of my hit points got recovered from
just from the strangulation.
From the strangulation? Okay. All right. Let's make sure. All right. Oh, man.
You're grasping at your throat, feel slightly crushed.
Yeah. Honestly, like at this point, he's kind of trying to think, like, how far am I from the bathroom now?
You've been dragged out into your room proper.
Okay.
So you're near the nightstand. There's a lamp. There's some other things scattered about. There's some of your luggage.
I think the first person I see is June, because I can imagine he's kind of getting out of. Oh, man, June, what the hell's going on?
Just don't overexert yourself. Like, let's get out of here. In fact,
yeah. Let's go. All he's gonna do is like under his breath, say a prayer of protection.
Great.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
All right. So as you're both in the shower, Rooster, she is going to try and attack you.
Okay. I expect her to, but I keep yelling at her, get out, Mother Lacrimorum.
Okay.
I have a funny feeling that this is the woman we saw on the street. only she's an innocent and the thing has possessed her. So
Okay.
I'm trying to hold her down and keep her from.
Sounds good. In that case, I'll either take a strength or a fighting brawl in order to not get hit.
They're the same. So
I did roll a 17, so that
I got a
is
45 out of 50.
All right.
So that's not a hard.
No. Okay, so she is going to start punching you in the side of the head.
Son of a bitch.
And yeah, you're taking 3 damage. Your skull is cracked a little, and its blood starts pouring down the side of your head. Everett, what are you doing? You're in a destroyed bathroom. The towel bar has landed on the floor. There's a broken toilet lid. There is Rooster fighting.
Well, hearing Rooster say, like, get out, can I make an occult roll to see if I have any Latin prayers of exorcism
Sure.
come to mind?
Okay.
I do study that kind of thing.
Wonderful.
24 is a hard success, and it's both a hard success for occult and a regular pass for Latin.
Okay, in that case, yes, you do know some prayers of protection or exorcism.
I will start rattling off that exorcism.
Okay. Nice.
I don't know if it will do any good, but physically I can't help very much, as we just learned. I gotta get to the door, and she
All right,
just...
Someone is gonna die if nothing happens.
I think what whose turn is it?
It's
Yeah,
June's
sorry.
turn.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the prompt. Oh boy. I have no weapons. I am very concerned about Andy. I don't know. Honestly, I'm probably trying to pull Andy out of the situation and like not paying attention.
All right, so maybe you open the door to the other room and you start dragging him there as well.
Yes.
Okay, Nathaniel.
All right. I'm going to. I broke off the towel.
Yes, it is a metal towel bar.
All right. I'm picking that up, and I'm gonna just start wailing on Leona.
Great. Yeah, give me a fighting brawl roll with a bonus die.
That was actually a pass.
All right, I would say a metal towel bar is a d6 plus damage bonus.
All right, let's do this. All right, I don't think I have a damage bonus, but I did roll a 4.
Okay, so if that's the case, you're a bit sloppy. You're not a trained fighter, so you're swinging the towel bar around. Some of it's just destroying the drywall. Bits of it are flying off, and then you finally meet your mark as you're hitting this woman in the bathtub as Rooster is holding her down. She cries out in pain.
Get off of my friend!
Great.
Bonk.
Rooster.
I'm afraid that if I let her go, she's just going to leap up and start attacking other people. So
She looks like she wants to kill you.
I'm trying to grab a hold of her arms or her hands and pin them down so that she can't hit me.
Okay, yeah.
So
give me a fighting brawl or a strength. She's gonna try and fight back. You do get a bonus die.
04.
Okay.
So that is extreme. Yes.
Ties go to the attacker if they're attacking back. So yeah, you're continuing to hold her down. She's vicious. Andy.
Yeah.
You've been dragged into the adjacent room.
Mm-hmm.
You have a fractured skull.
Yep.
What are you doing?
I'm just... Is June there with me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, June and a lot of blood.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell the blood to call 911. Just call 911, please. Like, I can barely keep myself conscious. Look at this. Just I can't imagine he's nowhere near in the shape to do anything other than calling for help, calling the emergency. So he might fumble around trying to call 911 on his phone.
Right. So you're going to crawl towards the nightstand with the phone on it.
Yeah.
All right. Great.
Yeah.
You'll get there next round. It's La Llorona's turn. And as you're pinning her down, Rooster, she's going to try and bite at your face with this hateful energy. So you can give me
Dodge.
a dodge, yeah, or else she's probably going to bite an ear off.
Got 25 on my dodge, which is...
At this point, I also rolled no 4. So you're going to need an extreme to dodge.
No, I got a hard. I would have to spend 15 points. I've got 22 points.
You might need that later. You might need it now. Who knows?
Well, I don't want her to bite me. 3, so I will spend... Shit. All right, I'll spend it.
All right, so
All I'm doing is spending it to keep her from biting me.
yeah, she lashes her neck forward where your ear was, but you instinctively move your head away. You would have lost an ear there.
Okay.
So once again, you've never seen this much hate.
Can I like in part try to drag the shower curtain over her so that she's kind of bundled back down and in the brawl? I want to try and
Yeah. And as you're getting a nice close look at this woman, she looks nothing like the woman from earlier today.
Will somebody please shoot this bitch?
You're the only one with a gun.
It's in my back pocket.
All right, it's in the back pocket. Everett, you're reciting this prayer in Latin.
Yeah, I have a feeling that the what's going to be more effective than Roman Latin prayers is the gun.
All right,
So-
it's on Rooster's side holster, and he's holding her down.
I will grab it.
Okay. I mean, she's held down. You can press it against this woman's head and pull the trigger if you really want to.
It's not human.
I'm good.
That no roll required. She is pinned.
Oh God.
Safety.
Yep, gotta
Safety.
do it.
All right, if you're gonna do it, then maybe you fumble with the safety because Rooster's screaming that out. But you press it against this woman's head. Roll Sam, because this is really fucking intense. All right, lose D4. You're not adapted to violence.
Ooh, I lost 4.
Oh,
In which case, I think I'm not going to be able to do it.
All right, sounds good. Everett's freaking out. He doesn't have the courage to do it. June, it's your turn.
I'm sitting there literally with the gun, the safety off, pressed up against her, just screaming, I can't do it. I can't do it.
is there a way to intervene at that point and take the
What
gun
are you gonna do?
Everett? Run into so I'll describe what I want to do. You tell me if that's going to be more rounds than that. I would like to run into the scene, observe this is happening, and maybe try to get the gun from Everett because he's screaming, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it.
But I can. All right, yeah, I'll allow you to do that. Sure. You wrench the gun from Everett's hand.
Yes.
Give me a luck roll.
All right. Fair
Oh God, no. I don't like where this is going.
No. Nope.
All right. Was it a fumble?
No, it was just a
All right, so as you wrench the gun from Everett's hand in your panic, it goes off. It discharges. You all have your ears ringing. It shatters the light bulb above you. The room is dark. You can still see
fucker.
Rooster pinning down this woman. So I'll let you, if you want to do this to this woman, you can.
I'll do it.
Make a sanity roll.
All right.
0/1d4.
All right. That's a pass.
All right. So 0. So describe as you're trembling, right? What are you doing?
Oh yeah. I don't know that June has ever shot a gun in her life. Nope. And now she's the adrenaline, and I'm shaking, and I just I don't know what to do, and then I just like kind of close my eyes a little bit and shoot her.
And there is a loud gunshot. It deafens you all, and the woman lies still.
I'm getting the fuck off of her.
All right, and just as you're letting her go,
give me my gun.
She is turning into this brackish dark water and going down the drain. But outside,
you motherfucker!
But outside, the rain is lifting, and that's where we'll end this session tonight.
Oh.
We have to pick up then when 911 gets here. And
yeah.
Yeah, with Andy like shakily holding the phone.
Fortunately, there's no dead body to have to explain.
But how
we have to explain all this other stuff.
That a crazy woman broke into our room and attacked us.
And fled out the window.
And then fled out the door. Yeah.
What floor are we on?
You're on
the third floor, but she ran down the hallway or whatever. Our players included Holly Buto, Morgan Llewellyn, Danda Polis, Nell Hipple, and myself, with Alex Sun as the Keeper of the Secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with our other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you would like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.